They are getting ready to have a election board meeting. There really wasn't an agenda. Linda said they were going to go over a couple late filings and a couple other things, so it shouldn't last that long. So it should be starting at 2 o'clock. I have one more minute. So, yeah. Let's see who else.
Yeah. My son wrestled with football. What's his name?
They're all here.
That's over. Yeah. Did you wrestle? No.
This is who's at the county building.
285.
Election board meeting should be starting in 1 minute.
Yeah, horses still good. Be good exercise.
So this is your election board.
Yeah.
Tim Lannon
Not sure yet. Should know very
and
next day. Yeah.
Michelle Daniels and Linda Smith.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Okay, today we're here for the election board meeting of November 20th. It was properly noticed on November 3rd. Could you all please stand?
See, right now she's not gonna be talking too loud, so you gotta open the meeting. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could you speak a little louder too, because you can't hear from right here. I guess she didn't like that.
Okay. So we have present today Tim Lannon. We have Linda Smith, clerk, and myself, Michelle Daniels. So let's get to number one. Let's get to some more business. Have you had a chance to look at the minutes today?
I have, and I would move their approval at this time.
A second. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So done. Georgia Parker complaint. Jeff, have you had a chance to review that complaint? Revise us on how to look at it?
I'm sorry, Madam President, which one is
The
that?
Georgia Parker complaint?
I have not, Madam President.
Would you, I'll make a note that next week we,
Very good, I will.
okay, thank you. Okay, Heather Bailey? Heather's our election deputy.
She can speak. Can you speak in the mic too? Are they not on? Well, you still can't hear.
There we go. Regarding the 12 delinquent candidate committees, 10 have updated and disbanded, 1 has updated and remains open, and 1 is deceased. We are also actively trying to contact his estate, and if there is an estate administrator, they can come in and disband the committee. And if that does not occur, then the board can look to administratively disband it in January. So everybody has come in, everybody has updated, and 10 closed, 1 stayed open.
And Madam Chair,
Yes.
so just to make sure I understand, Heather, the one that is open is up to date, though they have filed the reports or have not?
Yes,
filed?
yeah.
They have filed the reports?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And in regards to have they had requests to waive penalties as well, or do we know that?
A few of them were unable to come to today's meeting, and they emailed and requested that from the board. I believe most of everybody else is present here today, so, I'm sure everybody would request that though, but, you know, so that's my report that I have.
You want to give them a chance then, because okay.
So, I'm looking at faces I don't know, so I'm thinking of.
Brandon Gaffney.
Okay, would you like to speak briefly?
Come to the microphone, sir.
I'm Brandon Gaffney. And I didn't know anything about closing anything. I dealt with Mary as we were opening the campaign. And at the end of it, I thought we lost and we were done. Didn't know anything about it until this young lady called me and I came up the next day and got the things done that needed to be done. So that's my story. It's pretty simple.
Are you asking the board then to waive your fees?
Please.
Do we want to do that all at once? Or
I'd say let's do it all at once. I mean, if there's one that stands out, we'll consider it.
How many did you have? Can you name them, or is that?
So if we're going to have a seat, we'll move on to the next. I know Adam's here. Adam Jones, you want to come forward?
Name them all. Can you look at them?
Yeah, he's Adam Jones and that's Brandon.
Oh, it's just two?
No, there should be 10.
You gonna
Madam
get
Jones, ran in 2016. We closed the bank account in 2017. Thought we had filed the closure on the forms that same year. And thankfully, Heather called us a couple weeks ago and says, found some paperwork. So filled that out right away from 2017 all the way to this year. Here we are, and I respectfully ask a waiver of the fees.
Who else is here? Sir, would you like to?
Sure.
State your name.
Yeah, my name is Richard Brown Jr. and I ran in 2018, and I thought my treasurer filed the paperwork and he did not, and found out he did not, and I filled it out, got it caught up, and I'd like to respectfully request the fees waived as well.
Can I ask a question? Have you closed your
Yes, it has been closed.
campaign too? Okay.
I have no desire to run for anything ever again.
Yeah.
I happily closed it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Our policy is different, the late fees different on each one. Would have been different.
Potentially.
It all depends on.
How many years and so forth.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ben Orcutt. Similar story, I did not realize there was an annual form to be filled. After I got the email, I've submitted, and yeah, whatever you need from me, but I would request the funds be taken.
One other person.
Is everybody here?
My name is Ryan Green. I ran in 2020, and when I filed my 2020 CFA4 form, I accidentally clicked to check the wrong box. When I got the call from Heather, I filled out everything to bring it up to date, and I am requesting to have my fees waived, please.
James Townsend here? James Townsend? How about William Hutton?
Yes, Catherine, everybody's asking.
William Hutton, and not to repeat a sob story or anything else, but I had a huge distraction in November and December of 2022, and things haven't been the same since, so. But I appreciate you waiving my fee.
Have you closed your account?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there Andrew Jones here?
Who did you say? I didn't hear.
Andrew Jones?
Oh, okay, thank you.
So,
She need a microphone.
Type up master? Lydia?
She emailed the board she wasn't gonna make it.
Okay. Did you talk to Todd?
Heather, you have down here that Todd also emailed us.
Yes,
and said-
and so did Jonathan.
Linda? You go through this one, Thomas. What do you suggest?
I would say for all the ones that have appeared here today and have requested that their fees be waived, they have complied with our request, and they have cured their delinquent status. And for those who, I think all of them have cured their status at this point. Some of them have emailed and made requests. Heather, we kind of have to depend on those who ask for their fees to be waived, as we have in the past taken that, accepted that as their request. Are there any who have not at this point? Before I
Is
make a
Andrew
motion?
Jones not here? He's not here. He stated he would be here, and so did James Townsend. James requested it verbally to me when he was here. He's been going through some medical stuff. He had eye surgery on Monday. He said he would try his best to be here. I did ask him to put it in writing if he could, but he did verbally state that he would like his fines to be waived. Andrew, he had said he was gonna be here today, so.
Are they up to date though? Have they
Yes,
filed the
everybody's
required
up to date.
reports?
Everybody has filed everything that is required.
I would make a motion. I would make a motion that their fees be waived. And the ones that are here, absolutely. The ones who made their request, because I know you made phone calls, lots of phone calls, and then you had some emails that came in. So, and all of them have, not all of them have closed. I think most of them have closed, all but one.
Yeah.
And they have all requested that their fees be waived, and then we have one that is deceased. So, and that one we'll deal with in January, I presume, unless we hear back from the state administrator. So I would make that motion that we waive their fees.
And I would second,
All 11 then?
all 11,
Okay.
yes. And I would second that motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So do. Okay, Linda. Is there anything else, Heather?
No.
Okay. Linda, how about the report? Clerk report?
The only thing that I would have at this point is just to make everyone aware, we have an election administrators conference coming up in December 15th to the 17th. Many of us have signed up to go. And then the other thing would be just in preparation for the upcoming 2026 elections. I wanted to make sure that the board had copies of the election calendar, so I'll pass that out to you now.
Thank you.
And be sure, there are many important dates, be sure that you put those on your calendar. And that's all that I have.
Jeff, I asked, I've had some people question lately about public comment in regards to the election board and public hearings, and if you could inform us into what the law states regarding the election board.
The open door law, which is 514 1.5-3, as the name would suggest, it means you can have to conduct your meetings so that they can be observed and recorded by members of the public, anybody that'd like to come. It doesn't have to just be Madison County citizens. It could be out of town. It could be media. It could be a lot of different things. However, that is not the same as that you are required to have public comment. That's at your discretion. And the reason that is, there's no statute that says that, but it's by negative implication. In your open door law, in subsection D, it talks about that school boards, a governing body of a school corporation or a charter school, the governing body shall allow a member of the public who is physically present at the meeting to provide oral public comment. So if you're a school board or you're a charter school, you must allow public comment at all your meetings. And they do. And I've been to a couple school board meetings, and they always do that. For all other public meetings, The general rule is that you do not. It's at the discretion of the board whether to allow public comment, unless somewhere else in the law there's a statute that says you must. And you ever have when our county council talks about a new appropriation of new money, that requires a public hearing. When a plan commission has a zoning change, those are public hearings. BZA's, variance requests, things like that. There's littered throughout our statutes are requirements for public. The town of LaPel tonight is having a public hearing on a water rate change or sewer rate change. Those require that town council to let people talk about that particular issue on that issue to inform the board. Generally, the answer is it's not, and that's the reason why it's by negative implication the open door law.
I talked to Brad King at the state level, director of election, and he told me that, I said, well, why is that? Because, I just wanted to know, like, certain times you can and certain times you can't. And he said, and it made a little sense, he said, because we have to follow the law. There's no, like, should we appropriate money for this and not this? And he says, it's so law. If you had a question, you would turn to your attorney. Like, this is, how should you write a complaint form? Well, we would ask the public how to do that. We would turn to that attorney, right, and do that. So I know there's situations where people say, why don't you do this or that? And so I was very confused myself until you explained it and until I talked to Brad. So we also talked about an agenda because, we had some things added at the last second. And he said, well, most election boards don't do an agenda. And I was like, really? No, because things can turn so quickly on something. So you want to be informative, but then you don't want to put something out that, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was going to happen. So, it's sort of what we do. We don't sort of have to take each maybe individually, whether you have comment or not, or whether you do put out agenda or not. So
You do have an option on the agenda, if you want it or not. But if you do have one, it has to be posted and outside the thing provided. But those agendas can always be amended by majority vote of the board during the meeting. So they're coming.
I got a question. Are y'all taking questions today? Are you going to have rules where the public can make comments? Like he said, it's up to you guys to do that. And I want to know if you're going to be making a rule whether the public can speak at these meetings when you have them, and whether or not you're going to have agendas. I know he just said you don't have to if you don't want to. But
the 92 counties most do not do an agenda.
Well, I'm concerned about this county, and I would like to see an agenda, and I would like to see public comment. These are elected positions, and the public, what the attorney did not talk about was about officials on these boards and in these elected positions. You answer to the people. The people have questions about these elections, and just like all these people came up here and some of them said they didn't know about what they were supposed to do after the election. I know my name was on the front page of the paper mistakenly, and they had to retract it about being fined and not finishing up the paperwork. But that was the paper's fault, and I was able to prove that. But I think to say that you're not going to take comments and you're not going to have an agenda would be a disservice to the voters, and the voters need to know that, because I'll be voting on people who want to be more open and more public and get your mics fixed. Now, Tim, I want to thank you. You were very loud and you could hear it even though you don't feel well. You had a very strong voice. Linda, yours is better, but Michelle, yours was not up to what it should be in a public meeting, because you cannot hear you. You have a soft voice. You either need to get a microphone on. The people is who you answer to. These are not private meetings just for y'all three. If it was, then all you need to do is meet in the back room somewhere. We came here to learn or be able to ask the question if we need to. So that's what I wanted to know. And I also wanted to know all the fines that you waived today. Do you have a total of what that came to if you had collected them?
I do not have a total for that.
You don't, do you have any idea how much you weighed today?
I do not have an idea.
Okay.
What we try to do on this board is exercise grace. This is for many of these people, just like the file that we have. It was a file that was before I came into office. And so when it was discovered, Heather went through it, and then it was determined, oh, we need to finish up these committees and make sure that they understand this is what you have to do when you file to run for office.
Well, I understand that, and I'm glad you did that because it sets a precedence. Because I know when I first started running for office, you may not have been here then, but wasn't no grace. You got fined, you got punished, you got put in the paper. But I see you doing it a little bit different, so I appreciate that.
My thinking on that is unless it's intentional,
Right.
why levy a big fine against somebody? So,
Well, I'm with that, but I'm just,
Yeah, the point, well, I'm agreeing with you.
yeah.
But my point is, we wanted people to come into compliance, and that's what's happening.
Well, I understand that. I just want to make sure everybody gets treated fairly, because I know some people have gotten fined over the years and there wasn't much grace in here. But that's all I wanted to know. Yes.
Yeah, I want to read you something that I tried to.
Can you speak up? Because I can barely, maybe you can't understand how, it just sounds like you just move your mouth. You can barely hear you.
Sorry.
Well, do you have a mic up there, the same one
The mic is
Linda?
on, yes.
Well, yours is on. The speaker, is yours different than hers?
It's the same one.
Well, I can hear you.
I'll have you check it.
Well,
Okay,
thank you.
I'll check it. I'm going to read you something that they sent to me.
Who sent it to you? The state? I mean, what office? Out of the
I
election?
talked to, his name is Brad King. He's
Yeah, I know who he is.
So I was looking at some things, and it says about election board, it says their duties are often described as mandatory, meaning they are required to carry out specific legally defined tasks without discretion. Because their actions are dictated by existing laws, election board decisions are not typically subject to public policy debate or comment. Allowing extensive public comment on mandatory legal procedures can potentially allow for unlawful interference. Less common to have a general public comment period, as many of their duties are legally prescribed. And that's what I was trying to say to Jeff. I've given Heather my phone number, she knows my email. If somebody didn't understand something, they can contact me and I will talk to them, not as a board, but as an individual. But sometimes, and this is what they said, it gets into a back and forth, and they said they don't really do that in the setting. Now, does that mean you're never going to keep a comment? No. But depending upon what is on the agenda that day, if it's very specific, comment may not be needed. And that's why I think the law said that there's not a reason to have comment. So it's going to depend upon the meeting, it's going to depend upon what we have in front of us. And for instance, I'll tell you what would be great for public comment. We're going to be starting to talk about locations of voting sites. I think that's good to have public comment then. Because I know we had a site once that they had a construction going on next door, and there was no parking, we didn't know this construction was going on, and I felt like that was, we could have found a better place, right? So those kind of things, if someone can inform us of that, I'm all for that. But sometimes, it's just gets a little caught in the weeds, and I don't think they come away, and I don't think we come away, and I think sometimes it's better if you have something up. You can always put a complaint in, or write something up that says, hey, could you please address this?
I understand what you're saying, but I want you to understand what I'm saying as a taxpayer. And I'm just saying that's what I personally would like to see. Not a debate or not anyone interfere with your official legal duties, but at least let you know as a board and as an elected official, I value you taxpayer. I value our government system of transparency and openness, and if you have something you need to say or ask, but I'm just telling you, me as a voter and as a taxpayer, what I would like to see. But of course, it's in your hands. You can do what you
I
like.
had a telephone call last night, but someone had said that we were up in the clerk's office having a quorum, some sort of quorum, illegal quorum. I don't know where they got that. No one was in the clerk's office upstairs. I said, I don't know if this, I don't do something on social media.
Well, I understand that,
I'm
right.
saying, if there's ever a question, they have to call me. They say, hey, and I said, no, of course not. That didn't happen.
Well, the way you came off just now is that you'll say there'll be times that you will take questions or you'll see a need. So that will be in your authority. You will decide when we will get to speak. But what I'm saying as an outsider, as a voter, as from looking on the outside in, I would like to see that comment available regardless of whether you think it's worthy or not.
I appreciate that. And
Right.
it be that way, that we decide the agenda every day, we need a comment. But I'm talking to Brad King and talking to other election boards, because I didn't realize that not many election boards take comment.
Well, I'm not concerned with what everybody else is doing.
I know, but I'm just saying,
I'm concerned about here. They may not be running elections like y'all running them. I went all the way to Muncie to watch election, the testing of the machines. The same machines we don't have the same machines, and it was completely different. And that's the same thing. Well, that you don't do yours like they do theirs. So this thing about what they do, I'm talking about Madison County right here, where I pay taxes, where I live at, what I would like to see from this board. But you have the authority to do what you wish. But thank you for.
We will decide, we will maybe take comment.
Well, I will decide who I'll be voting on.
We're not trying to punish people or say, oh no, or have a meeting that we shouldn't be at. Not at all. We are the most transparent. I've been.
Oh, that's your opinion, because I definitely don't agree with that. But I'm gonna set out. All I'm saying is that's how I choose who I vote for, about how they feel about me, not about what's in these books or what everybody else is doing. So thank you.
Council, Michael Geringer from Adams Township. I have some suggestions that I think can help with some of the transparency. And this fine lady's excellent to speak her right, her Second Amendment, First Amendment rights, correct? They fall in a category of transparency, truth, and integrity. And parts of integrity are consistency. So, for example, if someone approaches your mic, they should say who they are and where they are from. There should be preset, in my opinion, time limits of 3 minutes. And when those are going to be received, it can be in the middle, between each vote, however you decide. I remind each of you that the statutes are there. And I also remind you not to make this a political event, that each party has specifically in their mission transparency as an important factor. So things like if they have questions about information, perhaps some way to identify to people that there is a process called a public records request that in my opinion, has been incredibly improved, but suggest you guys take a moment and really talk about those kind of efforts, because you could be opening the floodgates on something like that. And so anyway, those are my opinions, and thank you for hearing me.
Thank you. Okay, so, is there anything else?
No, I have nothing else. I would move we adjourn. Oh, do we need to set a meeting or we?
Because of the holiday schedule, I think I have mentioned maybe the board should make a decision on when we're going to have a meeting, because it's going to be difficult in December.
Yeah, I suggest we go to January, whatever we do there.
We probably need to meet before then, but.
Do? Okay, well, so what do you suggest?
I haven't looked that far, Tim. So we will, as soon as we do,
Okay.
Heather will post it on our website like she always does, It's on our website. It is, it will be in this room as long as we have availability to meet here. And so we have to get with the commissioner's administrator to make sure they have an opening for us. But typically we try to do it on the third Thursday at 2 in the afternoon. And I think we will be at conference this time. So it's just going to be a little different.
Okay.
So if we can't meet in December, then of course January, but we're going to certainly try.
Okay, very good. I move we adjourn.
Okay, that's the end of this meeting, so I don't know if they're gonna have agendas. She'll post it on the website when they have the next meeting. Linda don't know when the meeting is, so the same old BS. Look like nothing new, so I'm gonna go on conference too. Okay, well, that's it, Facebook.
I don't think there was any meeting at 10.